Yo, back at you with another episode. Yes, sir. It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Like, share the video, and all that good stuff, man. And we're going to do like we always do. You're going to talk that talk, and we're going to go out here and we're going to make it happen, man. Because that's what we do over here. We're not just talking the talk. We walking the walk. We're action takers over here. Big thinkers. Money makers. That's how we do over here. The lames are not allowed over here. The whiners and the complainers are not allowed over here. We don't get down like that. Yeah, so it's holiday weekend. I guess a lot of people are traveling. Personally, I chose not to. Not this Labor Day weekend. I usually go home on Labor Day weekend, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to go home due to some family circumstances soon. So I chose to just wait it out. It's unfortunate, but hey, man, we all gotta leave this planet at some point, and that sometimes can be a hard thing to deal with. So hey, but hey, I wanted to talk about, the good. Hold on for a sec. Wait a minute. I gotta check something out real quick. Like, share the video, and all that good stuff. And wait a minute, I gotta check something out, man. Yeah, this okay. So yeah, I've been doing podcasts and videos talking about respect for some time now, and how respect is probably the most important thing in any relationship. And I always ask, which is most important, love or respect? And most people say love. Most people say love is much more important than anything else. And my question is, well, how do you know? And why do you say that? Is it based on just how you feel? Or is it based on your experiences, what worked for you? And what is love to the person that you're dealing with? What does that mean to them? Because see, every woman, if assuming you're dealing with a woman, I know it's a lot of gay people out here. So I'm not I don't get down like that, so I don't speak from that perspective. But let's assume that let's assume that we talking about a woman. Now, most women, love means something different to them. If you ask, I don't know, 10 out of 10 women, or 8 out of 10 would say something different based on how they grew up, how they were raised, the environment where they came from. Could be culture, language. I can go on and on. So this is why, and I wrote about this in my books. This is why I don't even start talking about love, because it can get very confusing for a lot of people, men and women. So what I do is I take love out the equation altogether. And what I say is this: either you like me, care about me, or you don't. And everybody knows what that means. Everyone understands that, you know. And I take it a step further. I say, hey, what does see? Everyone knows what respect looks like. Everybody knows what it looks like. They might not be able to explain it, but they know when their parents walk in the room, mainly the dad, if you're from a stable family, most people kind of perk up when their mom and dad walk in the room. And that's because that's out of respect. And we can go to your job. Let's take your job. When most people, when they're at work, when the supervisor or the manager walks in the room, most people kind of perk up. And it's because in most cases, because of the job position that they have. It ain't necessarily because they respect them as a person. They disrespect the position at the job and in the workforce. But in your personal life, you have your parents that you respect, hopefully, in most cases. You have certain friends that you respect. You have certain people that you're close to. You respect them. And for different reasons. But it didn't start off with you loving them. That's my point. It did not start off with you saying, oh, I love you and I respect you. I started to respect you later. No. It usually starts off with respect first. Then it grew into love. Whatever that means to you. This is why, and see, respect could last forever until the day you die. And even when you're dead, they'll still respect you. They'll be showing your pictures and talking about you. And my dad did this, my mom did that, grandpa did this, grandpa did that, great grandpa did this, my uncle did this. And that's because they respect you. They respected you while you were living. Now, if you pay attention to how they tell these stories, almost nobody says, oh, I love grandpa. Almost nobody says that. And some do, but that's not the initial story. that they tell. That's usually the last thing that they mention, if they mention it at all. The whole story is about respect. That's what the whole thing is. That's what the person is really trying to say. They respect their grandpa. They respect grandma. They respect their parents. That's what the whole story is really all about if you really pay attention. It, you know, and then they might mention how much they miss them and love them at the end of the story. That's usually how it goes. This is why I say respect is better. It carries more weight and it lasts much longer. Could last forever. It's like I said, you know. And P.S. and by the way, a lot of these people that you probably respect, or many people respect, especially if they were a public figure, these people weren't necessarily nice people. They weren't necessarily nice people. They weren't necessarily nice people. And the reason why I say that is because there's this kind of a myth, stereotype, or especially when it comes to us, that you have to be, in order to be a good man, you got to be a nice man. In order to be a nice man, you got to be a respectable man. That's not true. That's not true. Most of these guys that I've met, they're hard asses. They're not necessarily not the nicest people to be around and the easiest people to get along and easy to get to know. But they take care of their responsibilities and take care of the family and make sure everybody else is good. But I wouldn't say they're a nice guy. But people respect them, though. That's the thing. And sometimes you have a lot of people that will take your kindness for weakness. Better be careful with that. Because a lot of people, you know, they're kind of in a bubble where they'll be around people for years. Everybody's kissing their ass. And as soon as somebody from outside that bubble kind of give them some pushback or tell them to go kick rocks, you know, it's like, oh, they can't believe that. They're like, you know, because it doesn't happen very often. Doesn't happen very often. You have a lot of people out here that do some foul shit and nobody tells them that that shit ain't cool, man. You need to relax, chill out with that. I give you an example. This is something that happened to me 2 weeks ago. I was working with this guy and he called me a liar to my face. Not once, but twice. So I was like, hell no. I didn't do that shit. No, I didn't do that. I said, hell no. I pushed back. And he's the type that nobody ever talks to him like that. Everybody just go along to get along. Sometimes, man, you got to stand up for yourself. going along to get along, man, that shit don't work.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, that don't work, man. Going along to get along. You know, I haven't seen it work. I mean, most of the time, people just push you over, push you around, and nah, it's not gonna work with me. You know, I just did an episode on the Love Can't Wait podcast, and I was saying that women only play games with guys that she's not really feeling them. She don't really like the guy. Women don't really like the guys that they play games with. But think about it. The guys that you look up to, the guys that are what some people call they on purpose, they're doing what they love to do. They're doing their life's work, whatever you want to call it. They don't be playing games with them guys. They don't be sitting around talking about, oh, I hope a happy life, happy wife. It's all about the woman, and them guys don't be sitting around talking that yin yang like that. They don't have time to be talking. That's a waste of time. The train is going this way, and if a woman comes along, jump in. That's what it is. That's what it usually boils down to. She not standing in front of the train and asking him, hey, which way we going? He already know which way we going. And she already, and she can let her figure that out on her own. Either she's in or she's out. See, a lot of guys make the mistake, they be trying to figure out women. Hell no. Let her figure me out. They'll figure you out. I ain't got time to be trying to figure her out. All I know is this is what I'm doing, and I know where I'm going. So either you in or you out. And she don't have to be in. She can get out at any given time as well. And there's always somebody that's willing to take her place too. And 9 times out of 10, the next person that's willing to take her place, she's gonna be 10 times better. So that's how it is, man. You know, I wish when I was younger that I had somebody around me to tell me, man, all you got to do is focus on getting your life together, getting things in order, getting your finances in order, finding a career or maybe a sense of purpose. I mean, like laser focus on doing something that I actually love early. I wish somebody was around to tell me this. And the women are always going to be around. And you're not going to have to. And once you get your life in order, you're in flow. You're not gonna have to do a bunch of talking or chase women or no, they'll find you in most cases. They'll be trying to proposition themselves to get with you. The game changes then. You become like a local celebrity in your town, in your city, or in your circle. I wish I had somebody to tell me that when I was in my 20s, or maybe when I was 19 to tell me that. And you get treated better. You won't get treated like the beta cucks or like your average dude. You won't get treated like that. They won't be asking you questions like, "Hey, is it okay if you're?" Or they won't be asking you questions like, "Would you leave him if he had another woman on the side, or do he get a pass, or would you share him with another woman?" They won't be asking you questions like that. If you're above average guy, or if you are considered to be what some people call a high value man, they won't be asking you questions like that. It'll be a completely different ball game. You know, that's how that is. That's how that works. You know, it's a different. It'll be like a different little world for you. Your experiences will be unique. You know, women won't be playing games with you, telling you when you call her, she don't answer the phone after you leave a message, and she'll call you back a week later if she feels like it. You know, you won't be experiencing those type of ordeals, you know, or you won't have to beg for sex like a lot of these guys do, which is horrible. It's a horrible thing, you know. You begging for sex, man? Come on, man. In North America, well, women are giving the cooch away like hotcakes, and you begging. I mean, that's to me, man. I can't even wrap my mind around that way of thinking. I mean, I can't even like what? Are you serious?
No, 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 no.
I mean, it's laughable. I'm like, geez, Louise, that's how low that's how low we become in with guys in society today. Guys are crying over women, begging for sex. You know, they saying it's so hard it is to date women in America. It can be hard for some guys. I'll admit that. But if you're above an average guy, if you're a guy that's about something, man, you're not gonna have a hard time. Women ain't gonna give you a hard time. The only way they'll give you a hard time is if maybe they don't know who you are, they don't know what you're about, you know. But if she knows what you're about, she's not gonna be giving you a hard time. I tell you that much. She'd be a fool, you know. And a lot of guys, that think that, hey, women will do anything for money. There's only a certain type of woman that'll do anything for money. I mean, if you around the hood rats, goddamn, or the hood boogers, yeah, they'll do anything for money. Goddamn. Or a chick that's street struck. Yeah, they'll do damn near anything for money. Or, chick could do something strange for a piece of change. Or maybe she's struggling. She's an opportunist. But even an opportunist won't do anything for money. That I've found. But if you messing with the hood chicks, well, goddamn, what do you expect? She's desperate. I'm not gonna place judgment on a girl that's struggling in the hood that can barely put food on the table. I mean, why would I cast? Well, first of all, why I wouldn't even be talking to a woman like that as a hood rat in the first place. Even if I'm from the hood, which I'm not, but if I'm from the hood, and even still to this day, I don't rock with hood chicks. I mean, what? We're not a match. I ain't grow up in the hood. I didn't have a hard upbringing. So we probably would get along, but we don't have much in common. We have different upbringing. I didn't grow up in the struggle. So her philosophy, her way of doing things, just probably her her integrity, her morals is probably going to be different from mine. And that's not her fault. It ain't my fault. You can't help where you grew up at and who your parents was. But I know that I've met some of these hood chicks and hood rats. I have a hard time getting along with a lot of them females that grew up like that. Now, some of them graduate and they get better and they do better for themselves and whatever. And some of them, I'll get along with them. The one that graduate, they live better. They realize how they grew up and where they came from wasn't the best situation in the world. Now they're doing much better for themselves. Now I get along with them types, but the types they grew up in the hood and they still in the hood and they like 35, 40 years old, I usually don't get along with them types. Like I said, their morals and values are different from mine. In most cases, they're trying to get over. They're trying to get something out of me. They're trying to take advantage of me. And I'm aware of that. I understand why. Because they're still in the struggle. But I didn't grow up like that. And I understand why she's like that. But at the same time, I have compassion for her and everything. But at the same time, you ain't going to take advantage of me, though. I'm not going to put myself in a position to get taken advantage of. I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool. I'm not gonna put myself in a position to get taken advantage of now. No way. No way, no how.
Again, you've been had. You've been cooked. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok. This is what he does.
Yeah, so this is why I always say you gotta have street smarts when you're out here. And see, these types of women that grew up in the struggle, or maybe she still is in the struggle, they'll take kindness for weakness in most cases. They will. Because they don't know no better. They're just trying to survive in most cases. I understand, but I'm not going to be preyed on. I'm not. And some of these women, even some of these women that grew up in the struggle, they know what respect looks like. They know what respect looks like. They don't know what love looked like, though. They'll be confused with that, just like the average woman walking around that didn't grow up in the struggle, that didn't grow up hard, that didn't grow up in the hood. That's why I say respect is better than love. I say, hey, once you have the respect, we can focus on the love later. Love is a process. Just like success, it's a process. You know, you can teach a woman how to love you if that's what you really want. But I would say respect is first, and everything else usually takes care of itself. Now, if you're around a woman or anybody for that matter, uh, I ran into this on jobs. If you're around anybody, man or woman, and you feel like they're being very disrespectful and they're going too far, best thing you can do is just is get away, take yourself out of that situation. And I've had to do that probably 2 or 3 times. Just cut them off, or quit my job. I had to walk off the job. I had to quit a job without a 2-week notice. That's how bad it got. You know, because I wasn't willing to put up with being disrespected like that. It ain't but so much I can take. You know, and see, the reason why that is because I know how I am. Because I'm like, I believe in revenge. You know, I'm not the type that's gonna take the high road like Michelle Obama, I think, said something. If they go low, you go high. I'm like, no. If they go low, I'm going lower. Yeah, if they go low, I'm gonna go even lower. Yeah, I'm not like, no, I don't buy into that. You know, that's just me though. I don't say you should be like me, but I'm just telling you how I am. See, I don't focus on being a nice guy or being liked. I'm not a people pleaser. You know, only thing I focus on is respect. If I don't have the respect in the building, well, I'm out. You know, that's the best, pretty much the best move I can make, because I just know how I am at at the time. I know who I am, and I know I only have a threshold for so much, BS. You know, ain't but so much I can take. So I'll be like, no, I'm gonna have to get away from you because you're being like very disrespectful. You know, so maybe you've had an experience like this where someone's being very disrespectful and you had to get take yourself out of the situation, or maybe you might have to walk off a job, or maybe you might have went to a woman's house, or maybe you went out with a woman and she started being um, disrespectful. Maybe she got loud, and you know, you probably had to leave. And this happened to me. You know, hasn't happened in a long time, but it's happened in the past. You know, and but if we're honest, man, us as black men here in North America, we're the most disrespected group of guys in this country. We just have to be honest about that. And I know it doesn't sound good, but as a group, black men as a group, we're the most disrespected group of guys in North America. Like, I'm serious. You know, like, I mean, it's wow. This is the wild, wild west, man. You know, I mean, and the media has a lot to do with it. Everybody's looking at the TV, looking at the movies, looking at the news. You're on the people on the internet now. Even the media is disrespectful towards us. And that brainwashes people. People see all the negativity about us, and they be like, "Well, if nobody else respects you, why I have to?" People think like this because most people are like sheep; they follow the leader. Most people don't think for themselves like that. They're not really big thinkers. If the crowd is going one way, that's where the majority of people are going. Because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to be by themselves. That's why I call myself the lonely drifter. Because I'm not afraid to be by myself. As you can't shame me because I don't want to roll with the crowd. You can't make me feel bad. Not at all. As a matter of most guys don't have a problem with being by themselves or living by themselves. You can't shame most guys. You can't make most guys feel bad. That only works on women. And I don't work with guys like that. You know? But they can't use that. Try to shame us with that. But sometimes, man, it's okay to be the bad guy. It's okay. Sometimes I embrace it. You know? It's okay. I don't gotta be everybody's friend. I don't gotta get invited to all the parties. I don't gotta be on everybody's program. I mean, some people, being that I've been online for so long, I know for a fact there's some people don't want me on their platforms. They don't want me around. And I'm cool with that. I mean, I don't, before I came on here, when I came on here, when I came online, I didn't have any friends. And when I leave, I'm probably not going to have any friends either. You know, I had friends, I had real friends in my real life before I came online. So I didn't come online and said, hey, I'm going to come online and start a channel and start a podcast and write a couple books. And I'm going to hopefully make some friends along the way. I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just having fun, living my life, traveling from time to time, and meeting people along the way. I wasn't even thinking about giving no advice. As a matter of fact, if you've been around me for a while, you know that I never wanted to give advice. I never even called myself a dating coach. I called myself a game advisor. Because I never wanted to put myself in a box and call myself a dating coach. I just call myself a game advisor. You know, because what I talk about is much better than just giving dating advice. The stuff I talk about is high level. It's about just living a better quality of life and living life on your own terms without having to go against your morals and sacrifice who you are as a man, and you know, have having options to do whatever you want to do with whoever you want to do it with, whenever you want to do it with, and wherever you want to do it with. That's what I'm all about. It's about options, it's about putting yourself in the best position to win. That's what I'm all about. Most dating coaches don't talk about stuff like that. They just talk about the discussions between men and women, what women want, what guys are doing wrong, what turn women on, what turn women off. That's kind of at this point. There's people I know people that's been talking about those subjects for like 20 years now. It's kind of played out at this point. You know, I mean, you we can talk about social things all day long, but at some point, it, it's it's really on you. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to you. What do you want? What do you want to do? How you want to live your life? You can't keep blaming women for stuff that happened to you. At some point, you're gonna have to take responsibility. Now, was everything your fault? No, but it's your life. When you take responsibility for your life, you empower yourself. You give yourself permission to do what you want to do without waiting for somebody else to do it for you. Are you going to have a lot of friends? Probably not. But I tell you one thing, it's going to be a good ride. And everybody that's around you, they're going to be people that are really into you. And it's going to be a good ride for them as well. Because they were smart enough to choose you. Think about this for a second. Out of all the people that walked past you or had a problem with you, out of all the hundreds of people that had a problem with you, the one feeling you, they said you maybe a misogynist, or they got in the name calling. Out of all those people that said all that stuff about you, it's only a handful of people, handful of women, handful of men that said, hey, I'm down with him. I like what he's doing. I like what he's talking about. I like what he stands for. They were smart enough to make the decision, say I'm rolling with him now. Think about that. It only got to be one woman. It could be 2 or 3 women that chose to stick around you for the next 10, 20, 30 years of your life. They chose to stick around you. They chose to stay close to you. Regardless if she was married or you married, they still chose to keep close to you. They call you. If she's married, she call you every once in a while. Hey, how you doing? Blah. Anything I can do to help? Blah blah blah. This and that, whatever. Or maybe she's single and you're single. She chose you. She got to know you. She stayed close to you for years. And being that she stayed close to you for years, supported you for years, you decided to get married to her. And now that you're somebody now, because she saw you was on the rise, because she knew what type of guy you was, and she's gonna get rewarded in the future. She's gonna get, because you got married to her, y'all gonna have kids, and the next generation of kids are gonna be much well off, better off, and you and her, and your kids won't have to go through most of the bullshit that you went through while you were growing up. And it's all because you got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you made a decision to do something about it. And you chose to upgrade yourself. And when you upgrade yourself, you upgrade the quality of life and your relationships and the people you meet, and you're around uh, a different circle of people, whether it's professional or personal relationships. But that woman or those women, those people around you, they saw it in you. They chose to stick around you when everybody else chose to leave. They were smart enough to stick it out because you bring out something in them. You bring out the best in them. This is why I always say in life, when it comes to this relationship thing, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. And that's what I figured out when I was in my early 30s. That's what I figured out when I got into direct sales. When I got into, some people call it network marketing, MLM. That's what I figured out. That's what I figured out, that the top earners, in these companies, top business people, that's what I figured out they were doing. They upgraded themselves. They figured out that, hey, the better they can become as a man or a woman, the better quality of life they'll have, and it's going to be dictated upon the relationships they have. And this is why I always say, this is why I said when I wrote my second book, Love Can't Wait, I said, even before I wrote that book, I said, if I can if I can upgrade my relationships and upgrade my level of consciousness, the money will take care of itself eventually. And that's exactly what happened. I said that to myself 10 years ago. But I wrote the book 6 years ago. And it worked. The more I grow, better relationships I have, more money I have. So if you got financial problems, money problems, you have relationship problems. That's what it really boils down to. Now, some people will say, what the hell with that? I don't want hell with a relationship. I just give me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. They say, oh, I'm all about the money. Well, the only problem with that is if you're all about the money, you're not going to have anything in the long run. You're going to lose everything. Because if you want to have good health, good relationships, and money, that's what you want. But if you put too much focus on just one thing, you say, oh, if you say, hey, I just want the money to get the relationship. Well, you're not going to have, the money's not going to last long without the relationships. That's the problem. Or maybe you have bad health. Well, if you have bad health, well, you're not going to be around too much longer. So the money is all for nothing because you're going to be dead eventually. You're going to die early. So the math don't make sense on that either. You want to have good health, good relationships, and money. That's what you want to have, the big three. That's what you want. But if you let one of them go to hell, you usually end up losing all three of them. That's been my experience. That's what I've seen. And trust me, I had to start all over. I'm like 15 or 10 years ago, I went flat broke. I had to start all over. I told this story a couple of times. I got robbed. Somebody broke in my apartment, stole all my money. I told that story a couple of times. I'm not going to go into that again. I told it a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? But during that time, I didn't have good relationships. I had the money, but I ain't had good relationships. That's why I got robbed. Because if I had good relationships, I wouldn't have to worry about getting robbed by nobody. That was an inside job. So that's what I'm talking about. Now, there's some bad people that make a lot of money. Yeah, of course. There's a lot of wealthy people. Yeah, but they're wealthy. You're not. That's the difference. You know, if you're wealthy, that the money's not. Then you can't get rid of wealth. That's they run the country. They run the world. That's different level there. You're not wealthy. You're listening to me. So, these are just my thoughts. Like, share this episode. Tell me what you think. Any questions, send it to my email at renegademoney@gmail.com. That's renegademoney@gmail.com. And in the subject line, put "love can't wait" in the subject line of the email. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.